Good things come in small packages. Check out Grant Glover. 20 plus years ago, he was all of 5'6", 150 pounds. Ben Mackay got to watch him do his stuff in 3 major sports: football, basketball, and baseball.
Yeah, Grant was a 4-year, 3-sport athlete: football, basketball, baseball. He talked about his size and stature. One of those kids that probably had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and kind of used that size or lack of size, and was definitely somebody that played a lot bigger than he was. On the baseball field, third baseman, really good hitter for us, and just kind of that gritty, never back down kind of attitude. On the football field, he played corner for us and was a wide receiver, and honestly was one of our biggest hitters and toughest kids on the outside when he wanted to be. Just a solid kid that definitely used his size as motivation, kind of I'm going to show you kind of attitude, and really was a good player.
In my opinion, Grant's best sport was baseball. That's what he played in college, played 4 years in college. But as a high school baseball player, he was pretty special. But he's a good football player. He's a point guard in basketball. And once again, his senior year, he was the starting point guard, and that team got to the playoffs.
Now, Coach Peterson could be a little biased. He knows why baseball was number 1 for Grant.
Number 1, defensively, he was an elite defensive player. He played third base for us, and anything you'd want defensively from a third baseman, he kind of had. He had great quickness. The slow rolling ground balls, he made great plays on those. Because of his quickness and athletic ability, balls hit to his left or right, he got to those very quickly. And on top of that, he just had a very accurate, strong throwing arm too.
Size or not, that throwing arm made him a great fit at the hot corner. As a sophomore, Grant replaced first-team All-Stater Sean Cahill at third base as part of a loaded Grizzly lineup. And that team would win a league championship.
The team he played on as a sophomore was a very good team. For about, probably half the year, we were the number 1 ranked team in the state. And Grant fit right in, and once again, defensively, he was really good at third base. And offensively, the thing that probably stands out to me as a hitter, he just had great bat speed, which gave him the ability to catch up with fastballs from the elite pitchers in the state. He had a real good feel for how to play the game.
Glover's versatility in football showed up his junior and senior years as a multi-position guy, playing wide receiver, defensive back, kicker, kick returner, punt returner. He was a big part of McMinnville's return to postseason in 2005.
Was a wide receiver who would carry the ball for us from the slot position. Defensively was a corner and a good man-to-man corner, good cover 2 corner. Would come up and, like I said, would use his physicality. There was a big play that needed to be made for us, during especially his senior year. Grant was the guy that made the play for us.
That big play mentality carried over to the basketball court. Grant was never afraid to take a big shot, which helped the Grizzlies advance to postseason his last 2 years. He was also not afraid to take some chances, even if it got under the skin of his coaches.
And honestly, sometimes with him, I think he just kind of enjoyed it so much that he probably tried to do some things just to see what kind of reaction he could get from me or coaches or whatever. And again, loved coaching him, loved being around him. On the basketball court, just a gritty, tough player. If there was a under the radar play that needed to be made, he was going to make it. And we had a game against Tiger at home in our gym that we used to call the Furnace, and it ended up being a double or triple overtime game that we came back and won. We were up in the fourth quarter, blew a lead, down in the first overtime, second overtime, and there's a play Grant makes, a come from behind, tip the ball, steal, and steals a game for us. And just without, kind of those little things, he was always doing those kind of things.
Around campus, Grant was active in clubs and a good student. Baseball would still be part of his future.
I knew he was going to be very capable of playing at the college level. And he ended up going to Mount Hood for 2 years, was all-league player at third base there, and then went to Western Oregon for 2 years, and I think he was first-team all-league as a junior and second-team all-league as a senior.
he had an awareness. I assume it went with the other sports too, but in baseball, I call it winstincts, but it's good instincts. And he knew instinctively, what to do, how to do it, and just reacted to situations really, really well. There was one particular time we were just starting our league play, and we were in a situation where we had runners on first and second with one out, and it wasn't looking good for us. And he was playing third base, which he always did, and we had a situation where we have so many options on a ground ball to you. And it was our two-step rule. If you're 2 steps from the bag, you go to tag the bag and then throw across to first. If you're more than 2 steps, you're gonna go second to first for the double play. And we worked on it in that, but you never know what a guy's gonna do, particularly a freshman, when they first start. He got a hot ground ball right to him. He was 2 steps from the bag, took the 2 steps, fired to first, and we're out of the inning. And it was just instinctively for him. I think that, shows what the McMinnville coaches have done and his parents have done, to make him like he was. And he was awesome all the way through.
Glover was All-League in 2008 as the Mount Hood Saints enjoyed their best season in school history. He also still found ways to keep his coaches busy.
We played our last game at home, wearing our home whites, and then we had like 3 or 4 days before we left for the ANWAC tournament. Grant happened to leave his eye black stick in the back pocket of his uniform. And the uniforms went in the wash and then went through the dryer, and they came out, and about 4 or 5 of them had big black stains all over them. The girls softball team came in and helped us and took those uniforms. They had to scrub them by hand and got it out. But that was the only time I got upset with Grant.
From Mount Hood, Grant took his talents to Western Oregon University, where he also made his mark on that school's history.
27 years in the game, and obviously you want to remember all your players, but some you forget over time. But Grant Glover's one that I will never forget. Just a special human being, and the way you literally attacked the game of baseball day in, day out. One of the grittiest, toughest players I've ever coached. As coaches talk and coach speak, if we had 9 of those guys, we'd win a lot of baseball games. Well, Grant Glover was one of those kind of guys. And we did win a lot of baseball games. So it's an honor to be a part of this. Grant Glover was a very special player, very special person to our program in 09 and 10 at Western Oregon University, and did some incredible things for us.
3-sport high school athletes are a rare breed nowadays. Grant Glover showed why they are special.
Yeah, those guys are unicorns now. And we love the 3-sport guy. A mentally tough athlete. He's played at 3 different sports through high school, then obviously chose baseball when he went to Mount Hood. And they're just so more well-rounded. Honestly, I think they're a little bit more athletic, but they've been through the grind. And that's the one thing that I tell youth players all the time is when you step into the college ranks, it's a grind. And those 3-sporters that went through high school all 4 years playing 3 different sports are used to the grind. So they acclimate very quickly to college baseball or college football, whatever sport they choose after they step out of high school.
Grant Glover lives and raises his family in North Texas these days. Today, we welcome him to the McMinnville High School Hall of Fame.